Italy, a land where history whispers from every stone and every sunrise promises a new adventure. The name alone conjures up sun-warmed stones, rolling hills, and a language that sings. It's a place where the air is thick with the scent of espresso and blooming jasmine, and every corner seems to hold a secret waiting to be discovered. For years I dreamed of wandering cobblestone streets, gelato in hand, tasting pasta made by a nonna. I imagined myself getting lost in winding alleyways, letting curiosity guide my steps, and savoring every bite, every moment. But Italy always felt just out of reach, a fantasy for someone else. I watched others live their dreams, wondering if I'd ever have the courage to chase my own. Then one day, I asked myself, why not now? Life is short. Dreams are meant to be lived, not just imagined. I realized that waiting for the perfect moment might mean waiting forever. I had just $700 saved. Not much, but enough for an adventure. Enough to take a chance on something I'd always wanted. This wouldn't be a luxury trip. It would be about finding the real Italy, away from crowds and high prices. I wanted to see the country through the eyes of locals, to experience its heart and soul. With a backpack and a heart full of hope, I boarded a plane on August 25th, 2025. My mind raced with possibilities and my heart pounded with anticipation. As Rome's lights sparkled below, excitement and nerves mixed inside me. I wondered what stories awaited me, what memories I would create. Could I really do this on such a tight budget? The questions faded as I stepped onto Italian soil. The thrill of arrival washed over me, and suddenly anything felt possible. I was finally here. The dream was real. Every sense was alive. Every moment felt precious. This journey was about more than sightseeing. It was about connection. I wanted to share meals, laughter, and stories with the people who make Italy what it is. I wanted to peel back the layers of tourism and find the everyday life beneath. To witness the rhythms of daily life, the small joys that make a place feel like home. To sit quietly in a piazza, to learn the stories of the people who call Italy home. To listen, to observe, and to truly be present in each moment. This is the story of that journey. A leap of faith, a step into the unknown, and a promise to myself to embrace every experience. A story of discovery, simple joys, and unexpected beauty. Of finding magic in the ordinary and wonder in the everyday. All on a budget of just $700. Proof that adventure doesn't require riches, just a willingness to begin. And it all began with a single step. One moment of courage that changed everything. With just $700 in my pocket for my entire trip to Italy, every single euro became precious. Each coin and bill felt like a ticket to a new experience, and I quickly realized that careful choices would shape my adventure. My first rule was simple: avoid tourist traps at all costs. The bustling souvenir shops and crowded piazzas were tempting, but I knew my money would vanish fast if I followed the crowds. No taxis for me, just the local bus, squeezed in with real Romans on their daily commute. It was noisy, sometimes confusing, but it was authentic and cost just a fraction of a cab ride. Hotels? Out of the question. Their glowing lobbies and crisp sheets were for another kind of traveler. Instead, I searched for simple guest houses and ostelli run by religious orders, tucked away from the tourist crowds. These places had a quiet charm and a sense of community. My first room was tiny, just a bed, a desk, and a window that opened onto a peaceful courtyard. It was clean, safe, and felt like a true Italian home, even if only for a night. Food was my next challenge. No pricey restaurants or fancy trattorias, just markets, bakeries, and forni. Breakfast was a €1 cornetto, warm and flaky, eaten standing at the counter with locals. Lunch was pizza al taglio, sold by weight and eaten on the go. The flavors changed from town to town, and every slice was a discovery. Dinners became picnics. Fresh bread, creamy cheese, ripe tomatoes, and sweet fruit from the market, enjoyed on a park bench or the steps of a quiet piazza. I ate like a king for just a few euros a day, savoring every bite and every moment. For travel, I skipped the high-speed trains and took the slow regional trains. They were cheaper, and every journey felt like an adventure in itself. What some saw as inconvenience, I saw as opportunity. A chance to see the countryside roll by, to pause and reflect. The slow trains revealed Italy's changing landscapes and its people. Students with backpacks, soldiers in uniform, grandmothers sharing stories. Every journey became a window into real Italian life, a moving portrait of the country's soul. My tight budget forced me to be resourceful, but it also brought me closer to the heart of the country. I met locals, learned a few words of Italian, and discovered hidden corners I'd never have found otherwise. I learned that the best experiences aren't always the most expensive. Sometimes laughter over street food or a shared smile with a stranger is worth more than any luxury. Sometimes the richest moments are the ones you find when you're willing to slow down, wander, and let the country reveal itself to you. And that's how I learned to see Italy as Italians do. One careful euro and one unforgettable moment at a time. Rome's famous sights are breathtaking, but I wanted more. I wandered into neighborhoods like Monti and Trastevere, where artisan shops and tiny cafes replaced grand monuments. In Piazza della Madonna dei Monti, I watched children play and neighbors chat, real community in the city's heart. I discovered Quartier Coppede, a whimsical, hidden neighborhood most tourists never see. Its fairy tale buildings and quiet streets felt like another world. One evening, I joined locals for a free outdoor movie in a park, sharing laughter and wine under the stars. I realized the true Italy wasn't in museums or tours. It was in these simple, beautiful moments of everyday life. That's where I found the Rome I'd been searching for. To truly understand Italy, you have to visit its markets. These vibrant spaces are where the country's heart beats strongest, where daily life unfolds in a symphony of sights, sounds, and smells. Testaccio Market was alive with the intoxicating aromas of fresh basil, wheels of cheese stacked high, and rows of cured meats hanging from the stalls. The air was thick with the promise of delicious meals yet to come. Vendors called out their daily specials with cheerful voices, their hands moving quickly as they weighed produce and wrapped parcels. Friends greeted each other with warm embraces, laughter echoing between the stalls, and the air buzzed with energy and anticipation. I tasted plump, briny olives offered by Marco, a vendor with a warm, genuine smile, hospitality with no strings attached, just the simple joy of sharing good food. I met Elena, a grandmother carefully choosing fresh pasta for her family's Sunday lunch. She shared her passion for simple, quality food, telling me how every meal is a way to show love and keep traditions alive. The market wasn't just a place to shop. It was the heart of the neighborhood, a lively gathering spot where stories were exchanged and friendships deepened. I left with a basket full of crusty bread, creamy cheese, ripe tomatoes, and a juicy peach, ingredients for a simple picnic in the nearby park, each item a small celebration of Italian flavors. As I sat beneath the shade of a tree and ate, I thought about the people I'd met, keepers of tradition, nourishing their community with every interaction and every meal. The market was more than commerce. It was connection, a place where stories and recipes were passed down and where every purchase felt personal. Here, food was about memory and love, about honoring the past while savoring the present. In Testaccio, I saw how Italians cherish the simple things, fresh ingredients, shared meals, and the joy of being together. And how a market, bustling and full of life, can truly be the soul of a city, connecting generations and weaving the fabric of community. That morning, surrounded by laughter and kindness, I felt like I belonged, not just to the market, but to the spirit of Testaccio itself. The real Italy revealed itself in conversations with strangers. Alone and on a budget, I found myself more open and more approachable. On a bench in Florence, I met Sofia, an elderly woman who'd watched her city change for 80 years. We spoke little, but her pride and nostalgia for her home were clear. In Umbria, university students invited me to join their passionate debates about politics and the future. They were honest about challenges, but fiercely proud of their culture. In a laundromat, Isabella folded my clothes and shared stories of her family, offering kindness that felt like home. These moments weren't in any guidebook. They were windows into the joys and struggles of real Italian life. Through these connections, I learned more than I ever could from sightseeing. The soul of Italy lives in its people, and in the small acts of everyday generosity. Naples was a world apart, raw, chaotic, and alive. The city's energy was overwhelming but exhilarating. My budget stretched further here. Legendary pizza for just a few euros at L'Antica Pizzeria da Michele. The margarita was perfection, simple, honest, unforgettable. Beyond pizza, I explored the Spanish Quarter, where life spilled into the streets and families ate with doors wide open. Naples' people live with grit and joy, shaped by centuries of hardship and hope. At the Fontanelle Cemetery, I witnessed a unique tradition, adopting anonymous skulls, blending faith and superstition. Naples taught me that the most fascinating parts of a culture are often the hardest to understand. Here, I found beauty in resilience and community, and a reminder that the best things in life are often the simplest. After Naples, I sought peace in a tiny Basilicata town, far from any guidebook. Life here was slow and deeply rooted. Church bells, fresh bread from Maria the baker, and quiet walks through olive groves. Afternoons meant coffee in the piazza, watching the town's gentle rhythms. Locals greeted me with curiosity and kindness. Giuseppe, an old man, shared stories in broken English. Living simply, I saw the richness of community and tradition. Maria invited me for a family dinner. Pasta from the garden, laughter and warmth. I felt at home, reminded that true wealth is found in connection. In this quiet place, I learned the beauty of a life stripped to its essentials, and that belonging can be found anywhere. As my $700 dwindled, I reflected on what this journey meant. It was more than a vacation. It was a lesson in resourcefulness and resilience. Traveling on a budget forced me to be creative and open to new experiences. I saw Italy's beauty and its challenges, far beyond the postcard image. The most profound lessons came from simple things: a perfect coffee, a stranger's smile, the sun in a piazza. I learned that joy is found in ordinary moments of connection. I came to see a country, but left understanding myself better. I discovered I was more capable and resilient than I'd imagined. This trip wasn't about escape. It was about living with gratitude and curiosity. The real magic was in the people and the moments that changed me, and in learning that home can be found wherever you open your heart. I began with a dream and $700. I leave with priceless memories. I hope my story shows that travel isn't just for the wealthy. It's for anyone willing to take the first step. The world's beauty and kindness are waiting, just off the beaten path. Don't wait for the perfect time or more money. Start now, however small. Your dream is valid and achievable. The journey will teach you more than you expect. If my story inspired you, your support helps me keep sharing these connections. Thank you for joining me through Italy's heart. Now it's your turn. Go find your own story, your own simple joys. The world is waiting. Go answer its call.